When I'm highlighting any technique, any tactic, none of this stuff is a magic bullet, right? It's not a magic button that if you press this button, the delusion about alcohol, the delusion about drinking, the cultural influence of alcohol, that's going to be instantly wiped out from your mind. You've got to be realistic about these things. You know, alcohol brainwashing has been something that has been happening in your mind since the day you were born, over many, many years, right? By the time you get to 18 or 21 or 23 or whatever it is that, you know, you're legally able to go into a bar and start buying your own booze, how many influential messages have been seeping into your brain about how normal it is to pour this shit down your throat, right? Thousands, tens of thousands, I would say hundreds of thousands of messages. You know, enough messages by the time that we reach that age of consent for ourselves, when we can legally do this. Most people have been completely brainwashed into the normality of this mad way of thinking, right? I've heard many people calling out the AA for its madness, for it being a cult. And I think there's an argument for suggesting that collectively, right, not individually, but collectively as a drinking culture, we're exhibiting as much, or, you know, some of the different cultish behaviors that they're doing. You know, maybe this is a video I'll cover, a topic I'll cover in another video. All I want to point out here is that any reverse brainwashing, the deprogramming of these ridiculous ideas, right, this is also going to take time and patience, right? You know, not as much time, I think, as, you know, the ideas that it took to get them into your brain in the first place, right? But, you know, and this is not to put you off in any way, shape or form, right? On the contrary, even though the habit might, it might have a really strong grip on you right at this moment, right? It can't maintain that grip on you if, A, you refuse to feed the habit, so you don't feed the alcohol habit the alcohol that it needs to survive, and B, you have patience, and you have patience with just the simple, rational logic, right? It's the simplest repetitions that create the habit and all the underlying conditions, right? It's the simplest repetitions on the other side of that are going to unlock the habit. So we can only often do that by taking it one step at a time, you know, building new habits one brick at a time, taking apart the old habits one strand at a time. So, you know, keep faith in yourself. You can do this, right? Be patient, persevere, and understand that, just like I said, straightforward, using simple tactics, moving forwards bit by bit, moving away from the alcohol bit by bit, refusing to feed it, and just using logic and rationality moving forwards. All right, take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you in the next one.